Okay, it might look like I'm sitting on the floor here, but I'm not. It looks like that for two reasons. First of all, this table is almost 3 inches taller than an ordinary table. And secondly, I have my chair lowered to its lowest point. The reason being is because a few minutes ago I was doing up these other, well, I was going to say 7, but I only did 6 of them because I have to do the 7th one now and get it on right there. But I just wanted to mention something here, and that is that when I was doing it, I wasn't laying it down on Andy's little photo etch bender and trying to keep it over a little black dot so that the macro lens would be in the right place at the right all the time. Because when I'm using that lens, just moving this thing just a little bit is going to take it right out of the field of view, or at least it's going to take it in and out of focus. Distance and everything is extremely critical. And with the super macro, the word impossible comes to mind. Anyway, so that's why I was doing it in a very awkward manner. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. When I'm doing stuff off camera, I don't do it like that. I do it like, well, this is how I did it. Bear with me. Okay. You can't even see what I'm doing, right? But at least I don't need to worry about, going off camera, because I just take it like this, and I bent the first one. Then I moved, I bent the second one. Then I grabbed it in the middle, and you can't see. And then I bent the other side. And then I grabbed the bear with me. The old fingers don't work as good as they used to. Whoop. I almost let it ping off. Which reminds me, I'm going to make a bib with Velcro attachments so that I can put this bib on, and that way if something pings, if it pings that way, it's going to land in this bib affair. It's something that was suggested almost 3 years ago when I started with the Bismarck. Anyway, okay, now I don't know if you can see this, but we're basically done here. Okay. Then I just clip it on, and okay. If things go really bad, I can always cut it out here. I know you don't want to be watching me, but you see right now, you can't see what I'm doing. So, but I'm doing it, and it's not awkward for me. I'm using my fingers here. Okay, it's on and ready to be glued. That's how fast it goes. I am not the complete klutz that I appear to be when I'm trying to video this. But because videoing is so much fun for me, that's why I do it. I'm not complaining because people are commenting and telling me how to do things differently. I do them differently off camera. I've been thinking if I get the Iowa, I might just do the whole thing off camera. Have the fun. Mind you, by that time I'll probably be in the old folks' home. And I might not want to do it then. Okay, so I just have to apply a little bit of CA now to this last one, and we're done. Now, we're not done. There are some very, very little tiny pieces here, and I'm going to try one. And I won't talk about it. I'm just going to get into it and do it. Oh, the weather this morning. The sun is trying to come out right now. But this morning at sunrise time, it was cloudy. In fact, it was raining. Anyway, I knew you wanted to hear about the weather. Let's get on with it and see if we can get some of these little teensy-weensy pieces on. Now, I guess I better apologize here. I was probably coming across sounding like a cranky old man. And actually, all I am is just a cranky old man. Yeah, keep the comments coming. Constructive, critical comments. Thank you so much for sending them. And don't think that Ron doesn't want to hear anything, any suggestions. And anyway, I was pretty sure you wanted to see these close up to see how they came out. They're all pretty consistent. I don't think any one is on a whole lot different from the other. Anyway, let's see if we can get the. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little protrusion on the top of these things. There's one there, and there's another one right here. And we got to try and get a little tiny piece of photo etch to stick up on that, sort of like kind of like a car aerial, if you know what I mean. Mind you, cars don't use aerials like that anymore. Okay, a car aerial from the 50s. Now, right in the middle of your screen, there's a protrusion coming up out of the center of the turret. There's also one on the front. And what they want us to do, see, get this angle just right here so I can get my tweezer in. They want us to glue something right on there. Now, I'm thinking that maybe doing it right now, I'm wondering, can I somehow put this off to the end and do these last? Because I think what with handling the turret while I'm trying to mount the blast bags and then the barrels and all the rest of it, I'm probably going to bend these things over so many times that, yeah, there's one on the front too. Let's see if I can reposition this here. Okay, I think I more or less got it. All right. Yeah, there's one on the front too. Looking at it really close like I am right now, it does appear that there's a little bit of a dimple in the center of this thing that this would sort of go down onto. My thought also was, could I take one of those very, very small drill bits and possibly drill a little hole in there so that you would just stick this down into the hole. Yeah, looking at it now, I noticed there was also a dimple in the center of the other one that we were looking at earlier. Okay. Thinking out loud again. Okay. Now that little dimple that is in the top of the part that we have to glue this into would act as a, you might call it a, like where you do a center punch type thing. And I'm just wondering how much larger or smaller is this smallest bit? Maybe the second to smallest might be better. Well, I could always do the smallest one first, and if it doesn't want to work, then move up to the next one. I suppose I could also measure these. I mean, I can measure something to within a 10,000th of an inch, but sometimes just eyeballing it is good enough. And I think this smallest one might actually work. So just for the fun of it, I'm going to see. It'll be one of the first times that I've been able to use our Tamiya. Well, that wasn't good. I guess when I was had it on the table like this, I was pushing in on the lock at the same time. So, but I didn't break anything. And I could also, I could cut this out and you wouldn't know that I did that. But, I like to show everything the way it is. And you see it as it happens here. Okay, let's try not to bend this now. Okay, I've taken one that has the collar removed. And the reason being is, if you recall, we concluded that we found that if we put this as far back into the chuck as possible, it centers better. There's less wobble or run out, as people were telling me. Okay, let's just try it now. I think we can probably manage that. There's maybe 0.5 millimeter of run out. Maybe not even. Okay, now, how can I recompose with the macro lens on? And remember, this is going to look awkward. This is not necessarily the way I would do it if I wasn't trying to video it. If I was, it could be that what we should be doing, let me get this out of the way carefully. What I should be doing is trying to bring this to the bit instead of the bit to the part. Maybe I can. Maybe just see if I can recompose here and have it work out. Okay, I think I know what's happened here. How many times have you heard me say something like this? I'm going to do the remaining 7 exactly the same way, or something to that effect. I think I can remember saying that a lot of times in this series, and that's been misleading. So, like I said, I've been thinking a lot about this. At least I think I said that, and if I didn't, I should have. I'm feeling kind of bad because I probably hurt some people's feelings. I sure didn't mean to. As I said, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the constructive criticism. I guess I was a little bit frustrated this morning when I got started and realized that people just weren't understanding that I didn't do things exactly the same way. For instance, right now, I'm going to be fastening this down. I would not do this. I want to be careful I don't break this. I would not do this if I wasn't videoing. But the idea is, I do not want this drill bit to move out of the field of view or in and out of focus when I'm using the macro lens. And so I think I'm probably beating this to death. I just want to make it clear that when I say I'm going to do the remaining whatever exactly the same way, I'm not actually going to be doing it exactly the same way. My technique might be different. The result will be the same. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. I apologize. Now let's get on with this. Okay, now let's put this thing on. Okay, it's amazing the detail you see with the macro lens that you don't see even with the magnification hood on. For instance, if I look over into the screen, I can see that there's a little piece of dust on the end of the drill bit, and I cannot see that even with my magnification hood on. It's just, oh yeah, now I can see it when it's rotating. It doesn't matter if it's there or not, but all right. Now I can also see that this the way I'm set up here is not going to work with the dimple that's at the in the middle of the turret, because it's unless I raise my Tamiya drill up. Now the idea is, and I hope you can see this. Maybe I don't have quite the right angle here. it should be, maybe we should be coming in more from the right, looking to the left. And that way we're going to see. I'm going to just recompose here. I should have thought of that. Because when I turn it like this, it's not going to work. Okay, we're coming in at about a 45-degree angle to the drill bit now, and I think that's going to work out a little bit better. Otherwise I wouldn't... Okay, now hopefully everything should still be just right here. I want to get that centered before I squeeze the trigger. Well, let's see how bad it would be. Oh, that's not real bad, but I think that if I can get it in the hole before I squeeze the trigger, it's not going to wander. At least that's the plan. Okay, now, as near as I can tell, I have the top of the turret perpendicular to the bit. And here we go. Okay, how does that look? Now let's see if that piece of photo etch will go in there. Could be it's too small. Or should I go a little bit more maybe? Let's give that a try. I'll recompose. Now once again, for perspective, and as I said before, this is not my big toe, okay? I took the clip off of the tweezer so I can release it. I think we're going to have to use the next size up. Oh, maybe not. Keeps wanting to move on me. Once again, this is not the way I would do it if I wasn't trying to video it. Well, see if I can just straighten it up there. Now I'm getting my fingers in the way. Okay, I think maybe this one is going to be about the right size. Yeah, let's just use this one, but let's not glue this in place right now, because like I say, we're probably going to end up breaking it off or bending it over a whole bunch of times. Okay, I have made 2 changes here. Now, as you can see from the snapshots, I raised the drill up just a little bit, and that way I can get in to this one that's in the center. Alright, now I'm just trying to get myself angled here. Now, second change is I've put in the next size up drill bit. Let's just see how the runout is on that. It's about the same. I think it's probably going to stay centered though. Here we go. I wonder if I went in too deep. Try and get those burrs off of there. Well, I guess I can use my toothbrush for that too. All right, let's try that out. We're starting to run out of time here this afternoon. Okay, I've made a change here. I've got a bit of blue tack on the bottom of the turret, and the turret is mounted on a tuna fish tin. It's a little bit heavier, I'm hoping I'm not going to be sliding it around. Now, is this going to go right through and out the other side? No, it's not. Because if it did, it might be, we might lose it. Okay. All right, you know what? I think that's the one we're going to use. Because, yeah, the other one, it was just, it was fitting in there. Now, I know it is a little bit loose. You can see there's a little bit of, it wants to flop around a little bit. But I think if we were to put a little bit of CA glue on that hole and then poke this in, I think it'll be just about right. It could be, though, that it's going a little bit too far in. But I do think that this technique is good. I think it's a good idea. So that's what we'll do, but we're not going to do it now. I think we'll wait until after the turret is painted. And yeah. All right. I'm going to have to cut this episode off, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, keep the comments coming. Please don't be offended by what I said this morning. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.